Hey there, this is Red. I want to do another game review, and the game we're going to talk about now is Button Men, and it's from CheapAss Games. I believe the name Button Men came out because the game was originally made on buttons, like the ones that you would pin on your shirt, round buttons. And the buttons would have the characters on them, which are also reflected in cards. So if you go to drive-through cards, you can get these cards that have these values on them, right? So there's a lot of cards, lots of different artwork. If you look at them, what you will see on a card is a set of numbers down at the bottom, right? So if we look at this character here, he's got 3 20s and an X, right? That means he's going to have 3 20-sided dice, and then the X is a die of his choosing. So some of the characters have multiple X's, and you would choose 2. They have to be the same of your choosing. Some of the characters, like, well, you can also make your own cards on drivethroughcards.com. So like this one here, Adama, which is my cat. I've got a poison die, which is a 20-sided die, which actually gives you negative points if you end up holding that die at the end of the game. So there's some different things. There's shadow dice and all sorts of other things that you can do. The game's really simple. We'll do a quick playthrough of it real fast. I think a lot of the fun is being able to make, like, I can make ones of my family and friends, right? So that's kind of cool. So let's go through a quick playthrough. Let me grab a couple of characters that are pretty simple. We'll grab Stark here, and we'll grab the hammer. Okay, so if we take a look at Stark, Stark has 4, 6, 8, and 2 X's. So we've got a 4-sided die, a 6-sided die, an 8-sided die, and we'll go with 2 12s as the 2 X's, right? And then if we look at the hammer has a 6-sided die, then we have a 12-sided die, 2 20s, and then for his X die, we'll throw an 8 in there for the X die. So sorry, the camera angle might make it tough to read what some of these dice are as I roll them, but we'll do our best here. All right, so to start off the game, you're going to roll dice. And we're just going to say that Stark's going to go first here. So for Stark's dice, we have, that one is a 3, which you can actually kind of see. I'm impressed if that comes across. 11, a 6, ooh, a 1 on the 8-sided die, and a 2 on her 12-sided die. Not real happy with that. So the hammer is going to look at his dice, right? So he's got a 17, a 16, and a 2. All right, so if we take a look at what we've got out there, one of the things that we don't like is we don't like the 1 and the 2 being on those dice. So that's a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 11 is 17. So we can do what's called a skill attack. So we do 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is equal to this 20. So that means that Stark captures the 20, and all the dice that she used in her skill attack, she has to re-roll, which is good because some of those were her higher dice that had low rolls on them. But she got a 1 on her 12-sided die again, which is not awesome. But she got an 8 on her 8-sided die, so that's pretty good. All right, so we're going to go back over to the hammer here. And what the hammer's looking at, he's got that 16, so that can pretty much take anything out. It's going to be tough to achieve. He's a little bit afraid of, there is a 10 and a 6 over there. That could take his 16. So what he thinks he's going to do is, let's use the 7. Ooh, yeah, we'll use the 7 that's here to take out the 6, because we don't want to lose our other 20-sided die. All right, so he's going to roll 7. It's probably a bad decision. He gets an 8. That's okay. All right, so we go back over to Stark here. So Stark's looking at that. 16 doesn't have a way to add up to that. What are other options there? So she's got a 3 that could take out the 2. She's got the 1 here on a 12-sided die, which is a horrible number to have on her 12-sided die, right? You want to have something bigger. But I think what she'll do is she's going to use the 3 to capture this 2, right? So then she's going to have to re-roll her 4-sided die. All right, she got a 4. Okay, so we're back over to the hammer. And the hammer's thinking, let's use the 6-sided die that's got a 2 on it to take out this 12-sided die that's got a 1 on it. All right. And we roll our 6, and we got a 1. All right, so over here on Stark's side, her options are limited. She can use the 4 to take out the 1, or the 8, or the, I'm not sure if you tie if you can take or not. Use the 10 to take out the 8. I think she's going to use the 4 to take out the 1. Let's do that. All right, so then she's got to reroll. 3. All right, so the hammer's over here, and he's thinking it's time to put the hammer down. So he's going to use his 16 to take out this 10. I'm going to reroll, and hopefully he rerolls high again. Oh, he did. He rolled an 18. All right, so we go back over to Stark. Now, I'm not sure how it works in a tie, honestly. I'm going to say that tie, you win on a tie. So we'll say that. We'll say equal or over. We'll have to do a rules check later. If I'm wrong, I'll post it in the thing. So 8 on 8. We'll take this 8 after we roll it. Got a 7. So over here, the hammer is going to take this 7 because it's worth the most points with his 18 and re-roll, and hopefully he doesn't get less than 3. You got a 7. Okay. So 20 is not going to get taken. So we come back over to Stark. Stark can't do anything with her 3. She's got to pass. So the hammer uses his 7 to capture the 3. All right, so the game's done at this point because nobody can make any more moves. All the dice are captured. So now you total up points. All right, so if we take a look at Stark, Stark's got a 20-sided and a 12 and an 8. So that's 20 plus 20 is 40, plus a 6 is 46. So 46 points for Stark. Right, Hammer has 2 12s, so that's 24, 30, 34, 42, and this counts as 10, so 52. So 52 to 46, if I remember right. Hammer just barely won that one. Right, it was pretty close. And it's interesting because Stark didn't start with any 20-sided dice, and Hammer had those big 20-sided dice. So you can see that game went really fast. That's one of the things that I like about this game is they go quick. So if you had the original buttons, or in this case, if you've got the cards, I have a large collection of dice, and this somewhat helps me justify my large collection of dice. Not really, but you know, I can use it as an excuse. You can throw a few of these cards in with your dice collection so that when you go somewhere, you can pop this out. And you're waiting for people to set up at the table. You can play a few rounds of this pretty quick, and it goes nice and easy. The base cards, like I said, the rules are real easy. There's the poison dice, where if that ends up in your pool, you end up losing points for those. There's another set that where the cards are based on vampires, where there's shadow dice, and the shadow dice are like if I had this 2 on a 12-sided die, I could capture between a 2 and a 12. So I can't capture underneath, but I can capture from there and above, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. So there's a lot of things to mess with how the dice work. So if you're interested in this game, I think the site for this is beatpeopleup.com. And if you look at a lot of these cards will say things like, they'll have like a little thing, and then at the end of it, we'll say, and likes to beat people up. So they're kind of humorous in that way. It's a game. I don't know that the artwork for some of these is probably on, I mean, it's probably okay for kids, but it's probably on the edge of what some adults might feel comfortable having kids messing with cards, but you can make your own. And then the math on them, I think, is really good to get kids thinking about rolling dice, comparing strategy, and some basic addition and some subtraction going on there. So game I recommend, that's Button Men from CheapAss Games. Give it a try. Thanks for watching this episode. Please leave any comments or suggestions you have below. If you like this episode, make sure to click on that like button, and you can click on the crazy jackalope to stay up to date with any new content that rolls out.